What happens when love no longer feels simple? When every choice carries the weight of breaking someone's heart? That is the question episode 8 of The Summer I Turned Pretty forces us to ask. And it's a question Belly herself can no longer run away from. For so long, her story has been painted as dreamy summers, first kisses, and the thrill of being wanted. But in this episode, that dream cracks open. The perfect glow of Cousins Beach is shadowed by reality, by hurt, by confusion, and by the painful truth that love is not just about who makes your heart race, but about who you're ready to fight for. Belly's world shifts in ways that leave us wondering, is this the moment her love story turns from innocent to irreversible? At the start of episode 8, the tone is already heavier than what we've seen before. The lightness of the earlier episodes has worn off, replaced by silence, long glances, and words left unsaid. Belly is standing at the center of two lives, pulling her in different directions. On one side is Jeremiah, who has been open, patient, and willing to give her the love she thought she wanted, steady, kind, and safe. On the other side is Conrad, her first love, the boy who has hurt her, but also the one who knows her in ways no one else ever has. The episode doesn't waste time reminding us that every move she makes now will leave someone scarred. And yet, Belly is still searching for her place in all of this. As if choosing will somehow fix the broken pieces of the summer that have been unraveling since the beginning. We see her caught in this space between longing and fear. There's a moment where her silence says more than words could. She doesn't have to confess out loud that she still thinks of Conrad when she's with Jeremiah, the hesitation in her eyes, the way she pauses before answering him, already tells us everything. The show carefully paints this picture. Belly is not cruel. She doesn't want to hurt anyone, but her indecision becomes its own kind of cruelty. Episode 8 leans into that painful truth, showing us that even when you love two people deeply, you can't protect them both. Every step Belly takes feels like walking across thin glass, where the smallest slip will cause everything to shatter. What makes this section of the episode powerful is not just the love triangle, but the way it shows Belly growing up through heartbreak. Earlier seasons showed her as someone swept up by feelings, blushing, glowing, thrilled to be chosen. But here, she's no longer just the girl in the middle of a summer romance. She's becoming a young woman, learning that choices have weight. That love isn't about fairy tale endings, but about responsibility. The episode highlights this through small, misheard, intimate details. The way she avoids eye contact when the truth feels too heavy. The way her voice cracks when emotions escape her control. The way she leans on silence instead of rushing into words. These are signs of someone facing the kind of heartbreak that shapes you for life, and the family backdrop adds another layer. Belly's choices don't just affect her and the brothers, the adults in her life, the memories of Susanna, the pressure of living up to what love is supposed to mean in this family. All of it circles around her like waves crashing against the shore. It's not just about who she loves, but about whether she is ready to step into adulthood, where every choice has ripples far beyond a single summer. Episode 8 makes it clear that this is not just the end of a season, it's the end of Belly's innocence. Asterisk Belly's emotional journey in episode 8. It's like walking into a storm you knew was coming but still weren't prepared for. From the very beginning of this chapter, we see her struggling to keep her feelings in order. But the truth is that everything inside her is in chaos. What makes it so gripping is the way the show captures her confusion without needing to spell it out. Her eyes linger too long on Conrad, even when she's sitting beside Jeremiah. She laughs with Jeremiah, but there's a hollow echo to it, as though part of her is somewhere else. And then there are those fleeting moments of quiet where she lets her guard down. All you can see is a girl torn between what feels safe and what feels inevitable. That's the battle at the center of episode 8, Belly against her own heart. The writing of this episode doesn't just show Belly's indecision, it forces us to feel it with her. We've all been in those moments where we want to please everyone, where we wish we could hold on to two different futures at the same time. Belly is living in that impossible space. Jeremiah has given her so much, the comfort of knowing someone will always choose her without hesitation. He listens, he stays, he makes her feel like she doesn't have to question his love. But Conrad, no matter how much pain he has caused, still carries the gravity of being her first everything, first crush, first love, first heartbreak. Episode 8 brings this conflict to the surface in ways that feel painfully real. Every word Belly speaks is layered with hesitation. Every smile is shadowed by doubt, and every choice feels like a betrayal, no matter what direction she turns. Family pressure and memories complicate things even more. Susanna's absence still hangs over every scene, and Belly feels that weight in her choices. Conrad and Jeremiah are not just two boys fighting for her affection. They're the sons of the woman who meant everything to Belly. The ties between them are deeper than just romance, and that's what makes the stakes so high. Belly knows that whichever brother she chooses, she risks changing the family dynamic forever. That guilt is visible in her face, in the way she pulls back just when she seems ready to lean in, as if she's constantly asking herself, will this hurt more than it heals? Episode 8 doesn't let her escape from that question, and neither can we. The episode also explores how Belly's journey is more than just about love, it's about identity. She's not the same girl who once believed that summer love could fix everything. Now she's realizing that love can be messy, imperfect, and at times even cruel. The quiet conversations with Jeremiah reveal how much she wants stability, but the unspoken moments with Conrad reveal how much she still craves passion. These two sides of her heart mirror the bigger conflict of growing up. Do you choose the path that feels safe, or do you risk everything for something that could either complete you or destroy you? This is the transformation Belly goes through in episode 8. She learns that growing up means carrying the weight of your choices, even if those choices break your own heart in the process. By the middle of the episode, we see Belly facing a truth she's been avoiding all summer. She can't hold on to everyone. She can't keep trying to balance Jeremiah's steady love with Conrad's unfinished story. The guilt begins to eat at her, and her emotional cracks widen. That's when episode 8 becomes more than just a love triangle drama. It becomes a portrait of a girl caught in the painful reality of change. It's not just about who she loves, it's about who she's becoming. And that realization hits harder than any romantic twist. Belly is stepping out of innocence and into a world where every decision leaves a mark. Episode 8 wastes no time, throwing us straight into the chaos, and it's here where the shocking twists begin to unravel. Up until now, Belly's love story has been building like a quiet storm, gentle waves of doubt, a guilt and longing swirling beneath the surface.
Oh.
But in this part of the episode, those waves finally crash. The first big twist comes in the form of raw honesty, when characters stop hiding behind polite words and instead say what they really mean. Jeremiah, who has always tried to be patient and composed, finally lets his emotions break through. His confrontation with Belly is not just about love, it's about the years of always being the second choice, the backup option, the one waiting while she wrestles with her heart. That confession alone reshapes the dynamic, because for once, Jeremiah doesn't simply stand by and accept whatever decision Belly makes. He demands clarity, and that demand rattles her in a way we haven't seen before. Then comes Conrad. His presence in episode 8 is electric, because he's not simply watching from the sidelines anymore. After episodes of subtle glances and half-finished conversations, Conrad finally steps forward and voices the feelings he has been burying. It's not a grand romantic gesture. It's vulnerable, messy, and painfully human. He admits his mistakes, admits how badly he handled things, and yet also admits that he still can't let Belly go. This confession hits Belly like a wave she wasn't ready for. It's the twist that brings her back to the very beginning of her love story, the boy who made her summers magical. The boy who also broke her heart. The boy she never stopped loving, even when she tried to convince herself otherwise. This moment doesn't just complicate the triangle, it flips it upside down, because suddenly Conrad is not the distant, untouchable figure anymore. He's raw, present, and willing to fight. The shocking power of episode 8 doesn't come from just these confessions, but from the way they collide. Jeremiah's heartbreak, Conrad's honesty, and Belly's silence all crash together in one emotionally charged sequence. Belly is caught between two brothers laying bare their souls. And instead of feeling flattered or chosen, she looks crushed under the weight of it all. This is where the episode delivers its sharpest twist, not in a dramatic kiss or a sudden breakup, but in the realization that no matter what choice Belly makes, someone's world will fall apart. And this isn't just about love anymore. It's about family, loyalty, and the risk of breaking bonds that might never be repaired. Symbolism also plays a huge role in the twists of episode 8. There are moments where the setting itself mirrors the emotional storm inside. Belly, a quiet scene at Cousin's Beach, suddenly feels suffocating instead of freeing, as if the place that once represented endless summers now represents the cage of impossible choices. The use of silence is another clever twist. The things that aren't said speak louder than the things that are. A glance between Conrad and Belly, the trembling in Jeremiah's voice. The way Belly's hands fidget when she can't find the right words, these details twist the knife deeper than any shouting match could. The episode's creators lean heavily on this kind of subtle storytelling, proving that sometimes the smallest actions deliver the biggest shocks. Another unexpected twist comes from how the secondary characters respond to Belly's turmoil. Friends and family members begin to sense the tension, and their subtle interventions or quiet observations push the drama even further. Instead of giving Belly a safe space, these outside voices act like mirrors, reflecting the truth she's desperate to ignore. For instance, when a character gently questions her choices or urges her to be honest, it doesn't feel like advice, it feels like pressure. Every outside influence becomes another reminder that Belly's decisions don't exist in isolation. The shock here is realizing that her private love story has rippled out into everyone's lives, whether she wants it to or not. And perhaps the most dramatic twist of all is the way Episode 8 sets up the inevitable breaking point. Belly can no longer juggle the love she feels for both brothers. Her inability to choose is no longer seen as youthful confusion. It's painted as destructive, dangerous, and deeply unfair to everyone involved. The shocking twist is not that she has feelings for both. We've known that all along. The twist is how brutally the truth unfolds when she can't keep hiding it. This is the moment the show rips away any illusion of a happy, easy resolution. Instead, we're left watching the fallout of choices made too late, confessions spoken too honestly, and emotions unleashed with no turning back. By the end of this section, Episode 8 makes one thing painfully clear. Belly's love story is no longer a sweet summer fantasy. It has turned into a storm that leaves wreckage behind, and the shocking part is that there is no way to protect everyone she loves. Each twist pushes us closer to the season's climax, making it impossible to look away even when it hurts. Episode 8 reaches its most haunting note in the final stretch, where Belly's love story finally transforms from a dreamy summer romance into something far more dramatic, raw, and irreversible. Up until this point, we've watched her hesitate. We've seen her pulled in two directions, but Section 4 makes it clear there's no escaping the fallout anymore. What was once a love triangle filled with stolen glances and hopeful promises has now become a battlefield of broken trust and fragile hearts. The dramatic turn doesn't come with fireworks or sweeping declarations, but with quiet devastation, the kind that lingers long after the episode ends. The first way this dramatic shift is revealed is through Belly herself. She has always been the girl who dreamed of being chosen, the girl who believed love was supposed to feel magical. But in Episode 8, we see her face the truth that love, in its purest form, is not about fantasy. It's about pain, sacrifice, and responsibility. The weight of having two people she cares for deeply, two brothers bound by love and rivalry, finally crushes her.
Ow.
Her voice shakes, her eyes brim with regret, and for the first time, she looks less like the girl who dreamed of Cousin's Beach and more like someone realizing the cost of her choices. This is where the series makes its most important point. Belly is not just choosing between Jeremiah and Conrad. She's choosing who she is going to become. The dramatic turn also lies in the way relationships fracture around her. Jeremiah's hurt is no longer hidden behind his easy smile, bursts out in sharp edges, revealing just how deeply he has been wounded by always being the second option. Conrad, who has often retreated into silence, steps forward with a vulnerability that Belly cannot ignore. These contrasting responses don't just create tension, shatter the fragile balance that has held the trio together for so long. Belly becomes the axis around which all of their pain spins, and the realization that she cannot save everyone becomes the most heartbreaking twist of all. Symbolic moments highlight the drama in unforgettable ways. A setting that once felt like home suddenly feels suffocating. A song in the background echoes Belly's own unraveling emotions. Even the ocean, once a place of calm and escape, becomes a mirror of her turmoil. Vast, it's unpredictable and impossible to control. Episode 8 uses these details to remind us that the love story has outgrown its innocent roots. It is no longer about summer kisses under fireworks. It is about the emotional scars that come with real love. Every choice, every word, every silence carries the weight of finality. And what makes this section of the episode unforgettable is the cliffhanger it sets up for the finale. Belly is left standing at the edge of two worlds, with no way to avoid breaking one of them. Her dramatic turn is not in finally choosing someone, it's in realizing that she can't delay the inevitable any longer. The heartbreak is not just that someone will lose her, but that she will lose a part of herself in the process. This is the cost of growing up. The cost of love that runs deeper than summer flings and teenage dreams. By the end of episode 8, Belly's love story has been reshaped into something far more tragic and powerful. The audience is left with the sense that nothing will ever be the same again. No matter who Belly chooses her, if she chooses at all, the innocence of her journey is gone. What remains is the messiness of real love, where joy and pain are inseparable, and where every decision leaves a mark that cannot be erased. Episode 8 doesn't just tell us that Belly's love story turns dramatic. It shows us through every broken glance, every trembling word, and every silence that carries the weight of unspoken truth. It's the kind of storytelling that leaves you with goosebumps, because it reminds us that love isn't always. It's about happy endings. It's about surviving the storms that come with it. And so, as episode 8 fades to black, we're left holding our breath, wondering what Belly's next step will be. Will she choose stability or passion? Will she risk family bonds for the sake of her heart? Or will she walk away from both, realizing that sometimes love means letting go? The dramatic turn of her story makes one thing certain. The season finale will not be about playful summers or innocent crushes. It will be about facing the consequences of every choice made in the heat of love, and how those choices define who Belly really is.